It all began in a second-hand digital bookstore, one of those peculiar places where time seems to fold in on itself, and you're left wading through stacks of forgotten titles that carry the faint, musty scent of ancient libraries. Somewhere between How to Build a Canoe and The Poetry of Concrete, the fingers brushed against a spine that felt different. Desmond Morris's Peoplewatching. The cover was unremarkable, the kind of thing you'd pass 1,000 times without a second thought. But then the subtitle caught the eye. The Desmond Morris Guide to Body Language. It was like a whisper in a crowded room, impossible to ignore. The book was cracked open, expecting a quaint, outdated manual on social graces. Instead, what was found was a master class in deciphering humanity's silent symphony, the subtle flickers of gestures, the unspoken language of posture, the coded glances that say everything and nothing all at once. It was as if someone had slipped the cheat codes to human interaction into their hands, and suddenly the world felt less like a mystery and more like a game they finally understood how to play. Every page was a revelation, every observation, a key to unlocking the secrets of the people around them. The book wasn't just read, it was devoured, and by the end, they weren't just watching people anymore. They were seeing them. Desmond Morris, the man behind the magic, isn't just any observer of human behavior. He's a zoologist, ethologist, and surrealist painter who treats humanity like the peculiar species it is. Born in Wembley, London in 1928, Morris became a household name with The Naked Ape, a daring look at human evolution stripped of all societal pretense. The man spent his career studying humans with the same meticulous gaze he might direct at chimpanzees or bonobos. And you know what? It works. He bridges the gap between the clinical and the poetic, explaining why you humans wag your hands when angry or shrink into yourselves when nervous. This isn't just science, it's art, observation distilled into something you can use. So, what exactly is people watching? Imagine walking into a party where everyone's mouths are duct taped shut. You can't hear their words, but their bodies won't stop talking. That's the essence of Morris's philosophy. Humanity's unspoken language is far richer and more universal than anything words could achieve. This isn't about spying on people for the sake of it. It's about sharpening your perception until you can read a room like a thriller novel, where every glance, gesture, and posture is a clue to unraveling the story beneath the surface. Body language, as Morris tells it, is a relic of our primal past, encoded into our DNA to help us survive, connect, and navigate the labyrinth of social hierarchies. It's the silent script of our ancestors, passed down through generations, still playing out in every handshake, every crossed arm, every nervous fidget. And here's the kicker. People watching isn't just fun, it's revolutionary. It reveals truths people hide even from themselves, uncovering the raw, unfiltered emotions and intentions that words often obscure. It's like being handed a backstage pass to the human experience, where the real drama unfolds not in what's said, but in what's silently expressed. Now, gestures and postures, oh, what a gold mine of meaning they are. Morris doesn't just skim the surface here. He dives into the nuances of how a simple shrug can mean indifference or helplessness, depending on the context. Is it a casual lift of the shoulders or a deliberate, exaggerated motion? The difference lies in the details. There's a whole taxonomy of gestures, iconic ones, like pretending to drink from an invisible cup to signal thirst, and emblematic gestures like a thumbs up, which can save you 1,000 words, or in some cultures, land you in hot water if misinterpreted. Morris unpacks these silent signals with the precision of a linguist decoding a forgotten language. He shows how a raised eyebrow can convey skepticism, how a tilted head can signal curiosity, and how a clenched fist might hide frustration or determination. These gestures aren't random. They're the building blocks of our nonverbal vocabulary. each one carrying a weight of meaning that transcends spoken language. And the beauty of it? Once you start noticing them, the world becomes a living, breathing dictionary of human expression. Posture, on the other hand, is the silent scream of the body. Someone sitting with arms crossed isn't just being casual. They're fortifying themselves, putting up walls. And let's not ignore the cultural landmines. A beckoning gesture might be an invitation in New York, but in Manila, it's downright offensive. Then there's the face, the ultimate canvas of human emotion. Desmond Morris treats facial expressions like a language unto themselves, with microexpressions as the whispers in the silent dialogue, a fleeting flash of anger, a millisecond of fear. It's all there if you know where to look. These expressions, Morris argues, are universal, shared across cultures and ages, rooted in our evolutionary biology. He brings in heavyweights like Paul Ekman to back him up, the man who practically patented the study of microexpressions. The science is clear. The face betrays us, even when we try to play poker. And understanding these subtle cues, it's like having X-ray vision for the soul. Let's talk about space. No, not the kind with stars and black holes, but the bubble of personal space you carry around like an invisible fortress. Desmond Morris calls it proxemics, the science of personal distance, and it's one of the most underrated aspects of human behavior. In Western cultures, an arm's length is the unspoken rule for comfort, while in parts of the Middle East or Latin America, the space shrinks dramatically, signaling warmth and closeness. Edward Hall's famous spatial zones, intimate, personal, social, and public, are like rings of trust we unconsciously establish. When someone breaches them, our instincts kick in. That stranger standing too close on the subway, your body tightens before your brain even registers discomfort. Morris makes it clear, space isn't just physical, it's emotional real estate. But proxemics is just the beginning. Without context, even the most deliberate gesture can be misread. Imagine someone crossing their arms. Are they cold, annoyed, or just standing awkwardly? Morris stresses that context is the decoder ring for nonverbal cues. A stiff posture at a funeral means something entirely different than at a corporate meeting. And then there's the environment. Formal settings demand composure, while informal ones invite relaxation. The same smile that's warm on a first date might come across as insincere in a courtroom. People watching, as Morris frames it, is like detective work. You're piecing together the who, what, and where to reveal the why. The context doesn't just matter, it's everything. Then there's power, non-verbal power. Morris describes dominance and submission as the silent undercurrents of every social interaction. The alpha doesn't need to shout, their body does the talking. Expansive gestures, unwavering eye contact, and taking up space are the trademarks of dominance. Submissive cues, on the other hand, are smaller, literally. They shrink the body, avoid eye contact, and appear non-threatening. Morris's observations extend to the subtleties of mirroring, where people unconsciously reflect the gestures of those they admire or wish to connect with. It's a dance of power, a negotiation without words. Even seating arrangements in a meeting, who takes the head of the table, who sits closest to the boss, become part of the choreography, and here's where culture steps in to complicate everything. A nod in Japan might mean I hear you, but in most Western cultures, it screams agreement, the infamous okay hand gesture, a cheerful sign in one place, an obscene insult in another. Morris doesn't just celebrate these cultural idiosyncrasies, he highlights how they can cause massive miscommunication. It's a cautionary tale for the modern age, where global interaction is the norm. Knowing these nuances isn't just polite, it's essential. The beauty of Morris's work is how it encourages you to see cultural diversity not as an obstacle, but as a treasure trove of human complexity. Group dynamics are a whole other layer of complexity. Morris shines when dissecting how humans behave in clusters. The way people orient their bodies in a group reveals hidden hierarchies. Who leans in, who sits back, who dominates the conversation without saying a word. All of it is there if you're paying attention. He even breaks down how inclusion and exclusion play out spatially. Someone turned away from the group, they're on the social fringe, perhaps feeling disconnected or deliberately distancing themselves. The person in the middle, commanding everyone's attention, that's your de facto leader, the gravitational center of the group's energy. Morris paints these social geometries like a Renaissance master, but instead of oils and canvas, he uses human behavior and space as his medium. Every tilt of the head, every shift in posture, every subtle alignment of bodies tells a story of power, belonging, and the intricate dance of social dynamics. It's as if he hands you a pair of glasses, allowing you to see the invisible, threads that bind people together or pull them apart. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The world becomes a stage, and every group interaction a performance rich with meaning. The face is where it all comes together. It's the Mona Lisa of human communication, endlessly mysterious and layered with meaning. Desmond Morris dives into the interplay of muscles and microexpressions like a scientist studying a supernova. Happiness, sadness, anger, fear. These aren't just emotions. They're survival tools etched into our DNA. Morris leans heavily on the work of Paul Ekman to explain microexpressions, those fleeting flashes of raw emotion that appear before we can mask them. A flicker of fear in the eyes, a twitch of the mouth betraying suppressed anger. These are the tells that reveal what words often cannot. The human face, Morris argues, is a lie detector, a social compass, and a masterpiece of evolution all at once. But all this theory is useless if you don't apply it. People watching isn't just about observing, it's about leveraging that understanding in real life. Morris offers practical examples of spotting discomfort in a tense business meeting, interpreting the closed body language of someone hiding their emotions, or using mirroring to build rapport during a first date. He even ventures into high-stakes situations like negotiations, where reading a counterpart's nonverbal cues can mean the difference between a deal and disaster. And let's not forget the mundane, recognizing when a friend's crossed arms aren't about you, but about their bad day. That's the kind of people watching that builds bridges instead of walls. It's about transforming observation into action, using the silent language of the body to foster connection, resolve conflicts, and navigate the complexities of human relationships with grace and insight. Morris doesn't just teach you to see, he teaches you to act, to respond, and to connect in ways that words alone could never achieve. So, how do you sharpen these skills? Morris emphasizes patience and practice. Start small. Observe people in line at the grocery store or during your morning commute. Look for the patterns. Who stands confidently, who fidgets nervously, who seems to control the space around them effortlessly. Over time, your observations become sharper, your interpretation more accurate. And here's the kicker: the more you observe others, the more you learn about yourself. Morris doesn't just teach you to read people, he teaches you to reflect. Understanding body language isn't just a party trick, it's a way of navigating the complexities of human relationships with empathy and clarity. Morris paints a world where nonverbal literacy can lead to better connections, smoother conflicts, and deeper understanding. Imagine a society where people listen with their eyes as much as their ears, where misunderstandings are minimized because we see the truth behind the words. That's the broader implication of Morris's work. A world where people watching isn't just for anthropologists and curious onlookers, but a skill everyone wields to build a more harmonious society. And so, Morris leaves us with an invitation to see the world differently, to step out of the whirlwind of our own lives and Look at others with curiosity and compassion. People watching isn't about voyeurism or judgment. It's about understanding the intricate choreography of human interaction. It's about noticing the little things that make people unique and finding the universal truths that bind us all. As I closed the book, I realized something. The world isn't just a stage. It's a living, breathing tapestry of stories told through the silent language of gestures, expressions, and movements. Each of us is both a performer and an observer, contributing to this grand, unspoken dialogue. Morris's work reminds us that beneath the noise of words, there's a deeper, richer conversation happening, one that connects us all in ways we're only beginning to understand. So, the next time you find yourself in a crowded room or a quiet cafe, take a moment to truly see the people around you. You might just discover a world of meaning in the tilt of a head, the flicker of a smile, or the way someone holds their space. After all, to understand others is to understand ourselves, and in that understanding lies the beauty of being human. It's a masterpiece, and every one of you is an artist, painting in the silent language of the body. Each gesture, each glance, each shift in posture is a brushstroke in the grand canvas of human connection. So go ahead, watch, learn, and engage with the world like never before. Let your curiosity guide you as you uncover the stories people tell without uttering a single word. Thanks for sticking around, humans. If you found this journey as fascinating as I did, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. Let's decode humanity together, one gesture at a time, unraveling the mysteries of what makes us tick, bond, and thrive. Until next time, keep watching, keep learning, and above all, stay curious. The world is full of unspoken wonders, and you've only just begun to see them.